Hey, welcome, guys, to episode 5. I know for some of you, this is your first time, and for some other people who will watch it, it'll be their first time too. But we're going to recycle and go through everything we talk on these calls because, there's a lot to life. Life is not easy. First of all, thank you guys for coming on. This is a high vibrational call. Everything that we talk about here is all about how to self improve the mind, the body, and, ultimately connect to the soul where all the information, all the answers that we're looking for are in. So it's very important to have that connection. And then as we talk about a lot when we coach people in any area, the mind, you have to be careful what you're feeding or listening to with the lower mind. So there's the higher mind and there's the lower mind. The higher mind is your soul. It is where, like, for example, okay, Eric, you heard loud and clear that like you needed to get some help. You needed to like get your stuff together, and then boom, very next day I show up. Charlie, same thing with you in when you went to music school. You heard it loud and clear. Erica and Antoinette, like Hari, like I'm sure all of you have heard that voice that tells you loud and clear what to do. So it's there, all the answers inside of us, and it's just how do we activate that more? And ultimately, that's what these calls are because we're all going through life and we all have a unique, different, no two people have the same lives. So that's why group dynamic in talking through different elements of life is important. It's how we all will evolve faster. And what I mean by evolve is connect more to that intuition and have that vision have that vision. So the first four calls, the first one we talked about momentum, and momentum is an energy that you create through actions. So it could be something as simple as I am going to work out. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to sign up, and all of you did sign up and start working out, whether that's 2 times a week or 3 times a week or whatever it is. But like, I am going to prioritize my health. Okay. And it's hard in the beginning. It could be hard. There's definitely a lot of thoughts, fears that come up. One thing that I'll say about that is anytime anything like that comes up, a fear or negative thoughts or anything that you feel is causing stress, mind, body, then that is a perfect opportunity for you to look at it closer and then start questioning it. How real is this? Is this a reality that was created at a previous moment in time, several years ago, many years ago? So, again, we have the power of taking our thoughts and rewiring them, rewriting them. And when we do that, then reality shifts. So if you want to lose 30 pounds, then, and we talked about on the second call, the vision, having that vision, that's awesome. I think everyone here has that vision, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't be on this call. So having the vision and then creating the action steps, which is just showing up for yourself on a daily basis. Like what do you have to do to show up on a daily basis? Like let me hear from you guys. Like what are your top like 3 things that you have to do for yourself, showing up for yourself? Put it in chat or just speak. meditate, daily workouts, working out. I'll tell you what, if there was 100 people, when there's going to be 100 people in the call and I ask this question, you will see that it's all going to be the same. There's going to be like six, seven things we have to do on a daily basis to give ourselves the best possible life. I can honestly say that. And everything else will take care of itself. But yeah, I mean, run, eat well, nighttime routine, morning routine, yoga. Yeah, like all those things. At the end of the day, there's only how many? Maybe seven things. And just think back when you were in school, well, or you're still in school. And I don't even know if they're teaching this now, but how many of these things are they teaching? I think now they're doing a better job, but definitely not when I was in school. There was no, I mean, there was, yeah, I guess a little bit of working out in PE course, but that's it. So, we're not ingrained with this stuff. So of course, then when we hit a certain age, 30, 40 years old, then it's like it seems like it's new, and it is new. But all this stuff is the secret of maintaining a healthy mind, body, and connecting to your soul. So momentum is taking one of these things, maybe two, okay? And I challenge you to pick one that you're not already doing, one that maybe makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable. Pick one and do it for a week till the next call. Maybe you're not going to do yoga 7 days, but if you have not done yoga, maybe go do yoga once, and you can do it at home with a video. You don't have to necessarily go to, a class. Put on a YouTube video for 20, 30 minutes. Um, Meditate. I think to a degree we all do meditate. I mean, some more than others. And because what I consider meditation is a lot of things. Ultimately, it is just being with yourself. So whatever that could mean. So for example, I was driving to work listening to, I mean, it was a high vibrational book, it was a spiritual book. So I was listening to that, but I was like in the book. So I wasn't meditating. I was listening to what they were saying. However, then all of a sudden, like my mind went deep. And I'm talking about like uncovering a belief that I had that now I'm looking at it and I was just like, come on, you have to like drop that. Like it's just not true. I heard it loud and clear. So whatever creates your space, so it could be listening to music, could be a form of meditation. Pick something that's high vibrational and just do that when you get a chance. Because ultimately, again, the lower mind, higher mind, the mind that we all complain about that causes stress and anxiety and worries and all that is got a coach in the air or wherever you want to put them right there for your assistance. Your best coach is you. It's just the truth. We're all our best coaches, healers, everything. We just got to listen. So momentum is a big thing. Again, I challenge you guys to pick one thing for the week that is not something you're already doing, maybe something that's, you know, I mean, it could be as something as drinking water. Like, how much water are you drinking now? And is it enough? If it's not, then okay, That could be your 7 day momentum challenge. And the way the momentum works is it might take longer than 7 days, but let's just start with 7 days. And then you up it to 14 and then 21. Once you get to like 30 days of doing something, then you no longer need two things. You really no longer need even discipline because it starts to become a habit. So you're not really thinking about like I'm disciplined now that I'm drinking this much water. You have turned it into a habit because you built enough momentum, and then you can compound and go to another thing. So like everything is this energy. Our mind, our thoughts are creating our actions, and both have momentum, the mind body. So the more you think about any of the healthy stuff that you want to do, then you will create it. Morning routine is important, journaling. So I just started. My thing was like I think like 9 days in, but I got thrown off with writing and doing this gratitude work. So now I'm going back to the book, The Magic. Liz, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. This is The Magic. So it's 28 days and there's activities for each day that involve gratitude. So but I noticed like, I'm whatever, 8, 9 days in that when you do that in the morning, then it's like you've already just quieted those, and they're low vibrational thoughts that are unfortunately not even all yours. They're not. Think of what feeds your mind. A lot of stuff out there is not helping. And the thing is, none of that matters. And if we want it all to go away, then you don't feed it. But that's a whole nother topic for discussion. You ultimately, though, have free will and choice to guard yourself from that. Gratitude in the morning and then setting so having your intent, your intention of I'm going to live like that vision, that version of myself that I know is inside of me, whatever that looks like. You're 6 months from now, 3 months from now, 30 days from now, maybe you have a 5 years from now vision, and it keeps moving too. And all of a sudden you could be driving one day and be like, boom, that's who I am now. So you live like that person, but you do it every day, one day at a time, and building these habits of waking up in the morning and doing like gratitude work and meditating and give yourself that morning time is important to set the day to make all the other stuff very like systematically manageable. So you see then, for example, negative thoughts come in, whether they're yours or someone else's. Again, that's why it's so important to protect yourself and surround yourself with the right people, like we're doing here. So again, everyone on this call and who's going to ever listen to this is already more of that positive, like, all right, like, I know what's important now. Like, I have my values. Like, my values have shifted. Look at your values from 10 years ago. In Hari, you probably don't remember your value at 1 years old, but that's okay. Look at your values from 20 years ago. Okay. If I look back at 20 years ago, like what I valued, it's totally different than now. I mean, I didn't value my health. No, no way. Just because I worked out, I definitely did not value my health and or my thoughts. I had no idea how important valuing your thoughts and being grateful for everything, how important that was, and how that just changes your entire life. Because ultimately, it changes your vibration inside. See, the faster we realize, and a lot of us do realize it, but I should say, not the faster, the more we live under the concept of that we're all connected and everything has an energy to it. So again, like the negative news has an energy to it. Even if like you're just doing it for, you know, shits and giggles and your entertainment, I still think that like it creates like negativity in you. It makes you judge because they're throwing out all these different like things now you can judge. And why? Why? Like we're already judging ourselves so much. So now we have to judge other things. Okay. So like if you block that out completely, and again, I did watch the news during the pandemic and then I shut it off like right when, yeah, like around March, like right, maybe April, yeah, May, got into May, and that was it. And no more news. I do guard against negative things and it just changes. It changes your body, your stress level, your slows you down. The thing is like we think momentum and we need to go, 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 but it's also momentum of slowing down and creating space from, I mean, look, again, society has made it very challenging for us. Okay, they put us in places we don't want to be, and they have people doing things they don't want to do for a system. So this is why it's like your values start changing the more you realize what health and wellness can be and where it can take and where peace can take you. Because then you'll be the light for others because there's so few people that understand and I shouldn't say that people understand, but it's we got to live it. Got to live it. Understanding and living are like two different things. I mean, you need to understand it, but you also got to live it. And it's one day at a time. And every day we get a new opportunity to relive it. Every time we wake up, it's like boom, here it is. Be that version of yourself that you want to be and put a bubble around yourself and don't let any negativity come your way. And if it does and you catch yourself, that's great. Because I mean, it's impossible to be like 100% positive. I mean, maybe one day we'll get there again because we are a collective and but that's okay. But you are like the filter of it. So if someone is negative to you, then, you can just kind of like say something positive to them or just be like, you know, you don't even have to even say anything. All right. Peace. Again, if I asked 100 people and I want to ask you guys, what is your two peace? You need peace for 1 hour. What are you doing? Put it in the chat. I'm taking my dog for a walk. Hmm. Yeah, Liz, grounding my feet outside. That's what I do. Before this call, I took them down because I live in these condo developments and there's a lot of grass all around. Definitely. Grounding works. Running or calling Jeremy. uh, you want to go deep, man? We can go deep for an hour. Cycling. Yeah. Yeah. So peace, we talked about peace is all internal. It's mostly all internal. And it changes. Here's the best part. So what we talked about before with positivity and the gratitude and setting the morning right. And then we really didn't talk too much about this, but of course, setting the evening routine right. So obviously, like you don't want to watch the news before going to bed. And how many people do that? Because they just don't know. They think that it affects them, and it does. Because then you're going to bed and it's going in your subconscious, and then you wake up like that. So an evening routine is very important. Whatever that looks like. A 10-minute book is usually good. Reading like 10 minutes at the end. Uh right before going to bed of a good book, something positive, high vibrational book. But do all these things, then like you feel the peace. You feel the difference between what people are like, what society's trying to show you that life is. Like it's always like this go, go, go stress. And what really it is when you're doing these things and you're staying grounded and you're living in your vision and your purpose and you're in your whatever that is, the habit that you're doing, you're building the momentum and you're 18 days now, let's say whatever you set today, and you're 18 days in. Okay, where do you think your peace is going to be? Of course, it's going to be better than if you didn't do it. So you see, like it's all connected. Boom. All right. And the last thing we did is energy. So something to think about here is, where do you leak energy? All leak energy. I leak energy. You leak energy. We all leak energy. But if you become aware of where you're leaking your energy, then you could do something about it. So, you know what I think I'm actually going to do is I'm going to look at this list every morning and then reevaluate, or maybe even in the evening. This list is, all right, we talked about the 7 areas of where we put our energy. Physical. So, physical is, your sleep, your nutrition, workouts, your physical body. Where do you rate your physical body? Is it an 8 out of 10? That's pretty good. Like if you're at a like 5, then okay, you need to put some energy in your physical. So that might be, if someone who just started, right, that might be like, I'm putting my energy in workouts, and that's great, whatever that is, if it's 2 or 3 times a week. So then the mental, we talked about that in the beginning of the call. Are you leaking energy there? So are you around a lot of negativity? That could be leaking energy. You have the choice to fix that. Emotional. Emotional, we all emotions. And, what I'll say about that is you just cannot turn your back to emotions. You have to go with the flow with emotions and try with them for until they subside. And then when they do, it's like there's ah, that release, and then that new perspective, the new realization, because what we call pain is actually our growth. It's like we called it pain, but that's our growth, because without it, you can't grow. So just everything is okay, part of the process. We're all going to have our moments, and it's good. So spiritual. But leaking emotionally, I would say like you're just turning your back from them. You're not clearing up. It could be that's a leak. So spiritual is ultimately, connecting with your heart, connecting with the one. It doesn't matter who you are out there, and gratitude. Gratitude's a great way to connect right away, fast. Financial, I would say financial is where you see how like this like energetic leak on all of us. So, but we're gonna clear that up. But with financial, here's what I would say is that if you're taking care of the rest, your energy will be good, and money is nothing but energy. So relationships, right? So that's a big one. That's a big one because that's the one we actually learn the most out of everything. It's your relationships more than like ourselves. So in other words, like if you were like put out, if you were in Tibet or something in the mountains for years and years and years, um, yeah, you could learn a lot, but you might not get to through like three bad relationships here. You've just realized, okay, this is who I am now. So we learn a lot through our relationships, and we cannot define them either as good or bad because they all have their purpose of, again, breaking us out of false beliefs ultimately. Direct, direct mirror, every of what's going on inside. So we're all working through that because and separation, right? Every man for themselves. You gotta like you like there's competition, you got to push the other person down. And again, that's a low vibrational mindset. And that usually leads to people who maybe have a lot of money, but they're not happy. So you see how like that connection is around. Okay. Creative is the last one. Creative is a good one because even if you just do one thing that feels good inside your heart, it could be painting, it could be, cooking, it could be writing, it could be dancing, it could be anything. That's also a way to have amazing moments of realizations and clarity. So I think, and it doesn't have to be every day, but, you know, and it could be also, it could be anything. It could even be like let's say, I don't know, walking up to a stranger in a moment where like you weren't planning on doing it, but you're just like, so seven things I would ask you to think about, um, which ones you want. We talked about setting the momentum goal, whatever it is, 7 days. And I would love to hear from you guys. You can text or you can tell me in person what you're going to do for the 7 days. Let me know. And then, the areas physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, creative, they're buckets, they're pillars. Of course, we want to work on all of them. So just being aware where we're, maybe not so strong in and on those through again, contemplating and journaling. All the answers are inside of you. Like again, you're your best coach. So you got all the tools. Anyone want to anyone know what their 7 day moment put, put it in chat or speak? I'll have to think about it. Yeah, that's all right. That's fine. You guys can have some time to think about it. All right, I got two questions. What did you learn and what did you like? See you. Gotta hop off. You did say 8 o'clock. Thanks for staying on another minute. I needed this. Thanks. All right, anyone, don't everyone jump in at once. There we go.
I just come off of mute. I was trying to type and I'm like, it's too much. Um, so you said, what did I learn and what did I like?
Yep.
So I learned about the seven different areas of where I can put my energy in, which I never knew about. And what I do like is being able to try something new as far as the momentum. And I believe it's going to be the yoga that I'm going to try. Never tried it before,
All
but
right.
I'm gonna watch a
Nice.
YouTube video and do try yoga for beginners.
Wha-
So
How did I get you? I like it. I like it. All right, yoga beginners. Erica put journaling gratitude for 7 days. Yes. Like not like they're not exposing even if just for fucks and giggles reading. Oh, reading. Okay. Love the journaling for 7 days, Erica. Absolutely. Gratitude. It will work. Okay, we'll check in on that. Reading. Reading for 7 days. How much reading? How many minutes?
Maybe 20 minutes or something.
And I'm just gonna read all day. 20 minutes. Okay, 27 days. Yeah, in the why not? Eric, what are you gonna do?
What am I going to do for the next 7 days? Journal more. Definitely need to pick that game up.
All right, so journal in the morning for 7 days.
Journal in the morning.
Chart.
Um, I am gonna get my training figured out, like personal training, like what I'm doing for myself, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do an Ironman at the end of September.
Nice.
Oh, very
Yeah, I
nice.
just feel like I need it, you know? Like I think something really
Yeah.
good about momentum is like everything that we do is momentum. And when you like if you like if you don't even think about it. Like I know everyone has a goal to achieve something, and sometimes it takes a lot of other little goals to end up getting to the main goal. And it might not even be associated with that goal. So for me, when I train for an Ironman and I push myself to the limit, and it's very much mental battles, especially when you're out on the course for 10, 11 hours or, 9, 10 hours, it just like changes you. And I know that is what's going to catapult me to where my next phase of life and where I ultimately want to be and want to achieve. So I'm using that as, training for that as a catapult. So again, like let's say that you're someone's unhappy about their like they want a promotion really bad at work or something. And they're not feeling like self-confident about themselves. Maybe going to the gym and losing that weight and developing self-confidence and self-love will end up getting you that promotion. So it's like a non-associated goal that can end up reaching to that overall goal for you.
Yeah, I love that. Great way of explaining it. All right, guys. Anyone else want to add anything? Nope. All right. Well, episode 5, we did a recap of it all. Um, and now we just got to take action. So thank you everyone for being on. And let's go have a great rest of the week.
thank
Thank you.
you. Have a
Antoinette,
good
I'm
You
night,
looking
you
forward to
guys.
all.
meeting you tomorrow. I'm looking forward to meeting
Thank
you tomorrow.
you.
Okay. See you tomorrow.
See ya.
Yeah, there we go.
All
Awesome.
right,
Bye,
bye-bye.
guys.